Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our daily live of Conversations of Support with me, Laura, your host. And we come on every day to just chat and share positive encouragement and support to one another. Today, I am sitting outside trying to soak in a little bit of this sun. It's a little breezy, so if you see things that have fallen from the trees that blow on me, you'll know why. But it's not bad. I hope after Son gets up and he's dressed and ready for the day that he comes outside for a little bit. Today we're talking about flaws and everything, but before I get started with that, let's say my husband went out and to the grocery store today, and he is the only one in our family that goes out, and he survived. He did it, and the only things that are still not in our stores, which I'm not quite understanding, is the toilet paper. There were no cleaning supplies, and what was the other thing he said? No toilet paper, no cleaning supplies. Oh, no tissues. So, but he got everything else on our list. He got the meat, the eggs, the bread, milk, all the foods that we needed. So that was good. So today's topic is flaws. Are your flaws? And yes, we all have them. It doesn't, no one is perfect, right? Are your flaws physical, or are they more of an internal, personal flaw? I have both. So my personal internal flaw is my temper. So I may not be a great Italian cook, but I have inherited the great Italian temper. So my temper isn't loud and boisterous. Well, I take that back. Sometimes it is. It can be very loud and boisterous, but other times my flaw with that is I give the silent treatment. I am wonderful. I can do the stare down. I can do the silent treatment better than anyone in my family. So I don't know if that's a good trait or a bad trait there, but it also means I'm a little stubborn when it comes to certain things. So that is my flaw. I have been trying to work on being better about that, and not letting whatever situation has caused me to become angry or whatever. I think I use the silent treatment as a protective order. In a sense, because if I spoke what I actually was feeling or thought at that moment, I would probably, and I know I would regret it later. So in order for me not to just spout off at the mouth when I'm upset or whatever, sometimes I have to walk away and I have to be quiet. I cannot speak to that person until I can gather my thoughts and present them in a calm, professional manner, right? So, hey Susan, how are you? So let's see, I found a quote that says, "You're imperfect and you're wired for struggle, but you are worthy of love and belonging." That was from Brene Brown. So as I said, today's topic is all about flaws, and you share your opinions too freely. That can be a hindrance too at times, because it's not always probably the most effective time to do it when we share our opinions in certain situations. But I clam up. I get quiet. I don't, and I freely admit I have given someone the silent treatment for at least 5 years, where I am civil. I will smile and be I guess the word is civil, appropriate with them, but I don't talk anymore. I don't interact with that person anymore, because when I've lost trust with somebody, it is very hard for me to bring it back. And if I that is my biggest flaw for internally. Now I have a physical flaw. I don't know if you can see. My thumb on my right hand doesn't look like, let's see, the thumb on my other hand. You know what I mean? Like a regular thumb. My thumb, I was born with two thumbs on this hand. So that is a physical flaw that I have chosen not to limit myself with. It doesn't have a joint, so I cannot bend it, like this one, like that one I can bend there, This one I cannot bend. So I do have some difficulty, carrying or holding something with that hand, but I do not let that prevent me from being around other people and everything, and I don't let it make me feel insecure or inferior. And hey, Michael and Gina, Gina, you understand this. Our kids, our boys have physical flaws, and the fact that they can't walk or that they might not be able to use their hands the way we can, but does that limit them? No, it does not. So we have to choose whether our flaws are going to hinder us or actually help us. And I think my son has inherited my stubbornness, because he likes to prove me wrong on everything. He likes to prove me that he can pick that up, that he does not need help right now, things like that. So he does not let that flaw of the fact that his muscles don't work the way everybody else's muscles work hinder him. Hey, Louise, how are you? Kids that have a learning disability or another diagnosis like autism or something like that, that might be considered a flaw to some people, but it doesn't have to hinder them in their life. They can use that and actually become an even better, well-rounded adult than some other adults we know, right? So, today's topic is really just about flaws and how are we going to let them hinder us, or are we going to let them help us to become better, to still attempt things, but flaws can be both physical, like my thumb, or an internal personality type flaw, And if you're just joining me, I just said, I inherited the Italian temper. I did not inherit the Italian cooking skill. Baking, yes, I can do some baking, but not the regular cooking. My husband does that, and he's Czechoslovakian and English. So, so we always joke about that I'm the world's worst Italian wife, But I know, and I have let my temper get the best of me at times. It has made me every once in a while not be as professional as I pride myself in being. I like to think that I can be very professional and ethical and all of that kind of stuff, and yet if I get upset with something, I might not be acting as professional as I want. So I've been working on that. It's taken me several years. So what I am saying does not happen overnight. It isn't something that that you can make disappear, and change and say, oh, that's not a flaw anymore. It's something that you might have to work at on a regular basis and get support from others. And if you have a great friend who also who knows you and knows your personality and says, oh, I can see that that bad temper of yours starting, I'm trying to open my phone here, come on, there we go. Have them give you a tap or something, or have them send you a message and say, hey, you're letting that flaw show, rein it in, or whatever it is. So, I found another quote that I like that says, don't see everyone's flaws. Don't listen to everything you're told. Don't speak if it's not kind. Always look for the good in people. Not everything is the truth, and only speak words of kindness. And I so totally support that, as having a law enforcement officer for a husband for 30 some years, He has always said the truth is somewhere between the two opinions. It's you have this side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. So we need to be careful with that on social media and things like that. That everything that we hear isn't automatically the truth. It might have part of the truth in there, but it's not the full truth. So make sure that we are looking for the good. That if you are going to sit there and notice everybody's flaws, find out what makes them good. Find out what makes them what are their good traits too. Don't just focus on somebody's flaws. I liked this one too. My last quote for you today is, I myself am made entirely of flaws, stitched together with good intentions. I believe we all have good intentions, and we don't necessarily intend to have our flaws show, or intend to let them overpower us in our decision making or whatever. But, none of us is perfect, and no one can say they're perfect. So be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge what you feel might be considered a flaw for yourself or how others might perceive it. And then you can decide if you're either going to let it overcome you and hinder you and keep you from progressing. I'm not going to let my temper keep me from being somebody who likes to encourage others. I will work on that myself. I will keep sharing that kind of information with all of you and say, we're all human. We need to work together on this. And if I start giving somebody the silent treatment, ask me why. Maybe I can't get the words out to you yet, but it's something that I have to work on, and I know it and I acknowledge it. The physical stuff that's different about each of us, don't let that hinder you in becoming friends with that person. What we look like on the outside is not the full determination on whether or not that person is a good person for you to have in your life. Physical looks are just a portion of that person. But if somebody is overweight, if somebody is underweight, if somebody loves to work out all the time, if somebody does not like to work out all the time, if somebody has thinning hair, or I'm trying to think, some kind of a physical, formity or deformity or mark or something, don't let that keep you from saying hi to that person. Don't let that keep you from opening yourself up to a great friendship. You never know just by looking at somebody. It's like that saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You got to open it and start reading it to see if it pulls you in and whether or not you're going to finish that whole book. Get past if you think somebody has a physical flaw or something that's hard for you. They don't look perfect. They're not going to be a model or beauty or something like that. Don't let that keep you from listening to them and sharing a friendship with them. So in this day and age, I think being able to hide behind keyboards and things like that, many people have started to not be so kind, and they hide their physical selves from others, and their flaws show by the way they treat people with words. So I've just read through a local Facebook post, and there's a lot of nasty comments on there, and I think that's a flaw that many of us need to address, and we need to stop and think before we speak, because words and how we use them can be our biggest flaw too. So I hope this helps you. I hope you realize and know that you are a valued person, with flaws or without flaws. We are all still valued and accepted, and important part of this society, and we all have a place in it. So remember to be kind. Remember to share that smile. My husband did say when he was at the grocery store, he said it was odd that you felt like you couldn't smile with the face mask on. And I said, but you can. Everybody sees those laugh lines. They can see when your eyes squint or whatever. So go ahead and smile. If you're out at the store today, we're all wearing that flaw today, right? When we have to go out, that face mask. But let's not let that hinder us. Let that encourage us to be even kinder and more helpful to others. So I enjoyed chatting with you today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow afternoon. If it is sunny where you are, please get out and sit on your deck like I am and enjoy sharing with each other. Hey, Maria, I miss you, my friend. I really, we're talking about flaws today, and none of us is perfect, right? But we're not going to let our flaws hinder us. We're going to let our flaws help us. Maria, I think I know, and I understand, Gina, my other friend, our boys, our sons that have the muscular dystrophy, those are physical flaws. But I don't know about Aiden, but AJ is very stubborn, and he likes to prove to me that flaw in his design of being somebody who can't walk or use his hands is not going to hold him back. He likes to be stubborn. He likes to show me how I do not need to help him. I shared earlier, my biggest flaw is probably my temper. I give the silent treatment when I've been hurt. It's a protective wall. And I tend not to want to speak, and it's probably a good thing because I might say something that I regret, But what I do know is that I am perfect the way I am. We are all perfect the way we are, and it doesn't matter if your flaws are physical, like my thumb, or anything else that's wrong with me, like my kidneys, my ears. I was born with half a uterus. I am an imperfect person built too. So but that's not obviously something you see when you look at me. But I managed to get 3 kids here. But that's an imperfect thing, but it didn't end up hindering me from having those kids. And so I like to just say I am dysfunctional. You just get to choose on which part of me is dysfunctional. So but I am not going to let any of my dysfunction or my family's dysfunction hinder us in any way. So I encourage you to just acknowledge what you think is your flaw, whether it's superficial, a physical, or if it's an internal flaw. But let's remind ourselves we're here to encourage each other, and we are. I will be here every day live in the afternoon. Let me know if there's a topic that you want to talk about. You can put it in the comments, or you can private message me. And I'd be glad to talk about it. I just feel that there's a need for us to be encouraging right now. And I do believe in positive, and I do believe in focusing more on positive. We need to acknowledge negative, but not give it all of our energy either. So if you want to chat, you know how to find me. Message me. I'm always available by phone and email and things like that too, and through Facebook, obviously. But I enjoy doing this. This is where I feel most content in being able to help, is to be able to encourage and support no matter what flaws you see in me physically, whether it's my funky looking thumb or my silent treatment temper. And I hope that I'm not letting my flaws hinder my growth in both my spiritual, my faith journey, my physical life, and all of that. Hey, Christina, how are you? We're just talking about how flaws can help and hurt us. So where do we choose to do it? I hope you can hear the birds out here. He's talking, and I hope you get some sunshine today. I am a person who needs sun. All these rainy, cloudy days, they wear on me. But today I'm going to sit outside. Hopefully, we'll get my son out here after he's up and dressed and in his wheelchair, so he can come out and get some sun too. But I want you to know that God loves us with all of our flaws and with no flaws. He loves us unconditionally, and I care about all of you unconditionally too. We all have our flaws, we all have our struggles to deal with, but we can give each other unconditional friendship and support and encouragement. To me, that's unending. So I hope that you find this helpful. If you do, feel free to invite others to come listen to this when you see me live, or to like the page Conversations of Support with Laura. I feel like, God's telling me he wants me to talk. That, I guess, is not, I don't know if that's a flaw or not, right? Somebody who likes to talk a lot. So that's your choice if you decide that's a flaw of mine or not. So be well, my friends. Be blessed. Be happy. Be safe and healthy. And remember to smile, even if you're out at the grocery store with your face mask on. Let everybody see those lines. I'm not going to hide those lines. I'm not going to hide my flaws. I want you to see me as me. So, and I hope that I see you as who you really want to be seen as. So, until tomorrow, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. All right? So smile, be kind, be safe, and be healthy. Bye.